What is up, everybody? Justin with the Real Alaska Podcast, and I'm here with
Susie Grobler with Pure Barre and a Rumble Boxing Anchorage.
Awesome. Well, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So obviously we got set up with you just for, all the small business, like-minded people around Anchorage and Alaska.
Yes.
So,
I mean, you even had like 2 or 3 people reaching out to me.
Really?
I loved it. Yeah. You're getting around.
We kind of just threw out this whole thing of hey, if you know anybody small business owners, but maybe wants to be on a podcast that talks about small business, send them my way. So I'm glad word of mouth is working.
It is.
So
thanks for having me.
Yeah. It's sometimes a little challenging to make a lot of phone calls during the week when I'm running a small business myself.
Right.
So
people don't really want to be called at 2 a.m., which is when I do my best work.
All right. Yeah. I am normally in bed. But yeah, welcome to the show. And so just so people know a little bit about you, obviously Pure Barre and Rumble, what category of business is that in?
Yeah. So Pure Barre and Rumble are boutique fitness studios.
Okay.
Meaning a little bit smaller scale than your traditional 24-hour gym, such as the Alaska Club or Planet Fitness.
Right.
Smaller member group and all fitness classes.
Awesome.
All of our classes are instructor-led, trainer-led, group, dynamic, musically driven, fun.
Yeah. Sounds fun.
Community, very community-oriented.
So how big is a class typically?
Different at each location. So Pure Barre, we are about 20 to 23 people per class.
Okay.
Depending on the format. And at Rumble, we can fit 48.
Wow.
Yeah, that one's a party.
Yeah. I have seen so many pictures online of Rumble. I actually need to get in there and try it.
You do.
Yeah. Just for the gloves.
Yes. I mean, it feels good to hit something.
Right. 100%.
Gloves on, whether you know how you're doing or not. We kind of teach you at the very beginning. Every class starts with what we call the pre-class. We go over all of our punches, all the moves that you're kind of going to see, kind of prep you, get you set up in your stance, ready to put those gloves on and throw some hands at that bag. And it just feels good. It's fun.
Yeah. So did you start out in boutique fitness?
I did not. I cannot say that when I was a child, I decided I wanted to be a fitness instructor. I never really thought it was going to be on the horizon. I got an engineering degree. I moved up to Anchorage in 2013 with a job from BP. So BP hired me straight out of college, worked as a rotating equipment engineer for them for a few years, 5 years, I guess. Yeah. On the slope.
One of the oil transplants.
That's right. I'm one of the many oil transplants here, which was actually a fun way to get to Alaska.
Right.
First place I've ever been where we moved a lot as a kid, and this is the first place I've ever been where pretty much everyone's a transplant.
Yeah.
Seems like everyone's always super welcoming, invites you over for dinner right away.
Yeah.
Meet their family. Like, oh, you want to do Friendsgiving because you don't have any family up here? Great. Come on over.
That's awesome.
Yeah. That was a great way of getting into Anchorage. I did that for a few years up on the slope, and can't say that rotation life is for me long term. I'm too much of a homebody. I wanted to be in my own room a little bit more, my own bed a little bit more.
Right.
So the 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off was the highs and the lows.
Yeah.
More steady. So I decided to be a business owner. So now it's just a roller coaster ride every day.
Yep.
Versus a slow and steady 2 weeks on, 2 week off.
Yeah, it's almost hourly sometimes.
True. The emotions.
Oh man, yeah, all the things.
It's true. But I did Pure Barre in college, and it was one of the few workouts where I could actually kind of shut my brain off for a little while.
Yeah.
So it takes a lot of mental focus to connect with the right muscles while you're doing it, and then the music kind of helps you get distracted as well. So I never was worried about my to-do list while I was taking Pure Barre. I was never, thinking about the things I should be doing instead of working out. Right. I was actually able to shut my brain off and work out. And when I moved to Anchorage, I noticed that there was just nothing here like that. We have high risk, high reward activities all over the place. Everyone's a runner, everyone's a big athlete, hiking, skiing, all of those things. But there's not as much rehabilitation, not as much strength training kind of thing. And Pure Barre works all of those stabilizer muscles. It's low impact. So even if you get injured, you can still work out. You're not, sentenced to a life on the couch.
Right.
And that's what led me to open Pure Barre.
Well, that's cool. So college, you did it. And then like, what was like the deciding factor of like, listen, this 2 and 2 schedule is just not for me to that. Like, where was what was the, kind of the backstory behind that?
Yeah, good question. I mean, I don't think it was really one thing.
Right.
Leading up to many things, right? But I got injured running. I tried to be like everyone else. I tried to be a runner. I really did. It's not me.
Jump in, want to run the Boston Marathon in your first week.
I didn't even jump in. I did the whole training thing.
Oh, okay.
But I tore a muscle and was like, well, crap. Now I gotta go back.
Yeah.
And when I went to PT, all of those moves were Pure Barre moves, pretty much. So I was like, well, I could just do my old videos. So I like got some DVDs and did them on the slope in my little workout room by myself. And I was like, well, we could do something else. And then I kept trying to negotiate with my company about like, can I move to town? Can I move to town? They weren't having it. And I was like, well, make my own way.
Right.
A little stubborn, which I think most business owners are as well. So I was like, oh, I'll just forge my own way. And this Pure Barre thing just sort of evolved into a thought, a dream to all of a sudden it became reality.
Yeah.
Let's do this. Let's find a good spot. And one day I was driving next to Nusa Gaia and saw that the Alaska Wine Guy store is no longer a thing. And I was like, almost got in a car accident, pulled into the parking lot. I was like, this is it. This is where we're going to do it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So never owned a business before.
No.
So that was probably a different experience.
Big difference. But I will say I grew up on a ranch in Montana.
Okay.
And I feel like, that's a family business in and of itself, in a sense. And the whole growing up, it was always like, well, the work's got to get done when the work's got to get done.
Yeah.
And I think that's the first part of business. And then went on from there.
Yeah. It's funny because some of our previous podcast people were a business consulting firm.
Okay.
Right. And it's, as a business owner, I'm sure you can relate, is sometimes it's really challenging to take the idea into like application. Like, okay, I'm going to like, this is it. Like, I have this cool idea. How do I get to here though? Did you have anything like that happen, or just kind of like a lot of like,
I went
steep learning curves?
I went the franchising route, right?
Okay.
So Pure Barre and Rumble Boxing are both a franchise.
Gotcha. Okay.
Which made it a lot easier of a buy-in. It made it a lot less stressful. I mean, still the same. You got to have the grit, got to have the financial backing or ideas on how you're going to do all of that. But I didn't have to come up with every concept.
That's nice.
Of it.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. So a little bit of help along the way, kind of help open things up and all that jazz. That's kind of fun.
Yeah.
So how long has Pure Barre been open?
We opened in December of 2017.
Okay. So a little bit of time.
Yeah. We're
awesome.
In our 5th year of operating now, and it's been going great.
So what was the decision factor into opening Rumble?
Oh man. Once again, not just one. So we weathered the storm of COVID with Pure Barre. We were able to move it into an on-stream platform or live streaming platform during the time where we were all completely shut down. Did all of the masking, all of the distancing throughout, and we're kind of coming back to life. Yeah. And in that same breath, I turned 30 and was like, well, where are we at? Yeah. Do we coast, stay steady? And I was like, not ready to be steady yet on it, and decided to look elsewhere for expansion. I wasn't really sure what I was gonna do yet on the next part, but in the same time frame, Exponential Fitness, which is the overall franchise concept of Pure Barre, acquired this company called Rumble. Yeah, and decided they were wanting to, branch out into the boxing fitness world, boxing inspired fitness, and I was like, this is it. That's the one. That's what we're gonna do here. It felt right. I knew that Anchorage was hungry for something a little bit different, unique, fun, all that. And we are actually the very first franchise to be open in the United States.
Well, that's cool.
For Rumble, yeah.
That's rad.
First
that's a cool feeling.
And everyone was like, what the heck's happening in Alaska?
Yeah. And in Alaska, of all things. They're like, what? Like, this didn't happen in LA or New York or Chicago. Nope. Like, nope, just a small dot on the map, Anchorage, Alaska.
That's right. Vegas was a close second, but we beat them by a month and a half.
Well, that's awesome. And in the Diamond Mall?
In the Diamond Mall. Yep.
So that's a pretty convenient location.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been a good spot. We have an outdoor entrance, an indoor entrance. It's good.
That's
parking.
cool. Yeah. That's pretty convenient as heaven.
Yeah.
And
South Side, there's not a whole lot on the South Side for fitness concepts yet. So
there's actually a lot of people that live south of Tudor, so it's a pretty convenient location. Mm-hmm. And I mean, you just tell them we're in the Diamond Mall. Everyone knows where that's at.
Exactly. We do often get phone calls though. People are on the wrong end of it.
Oh, right.
Thankfully, it's not that big of a mall.
Right. No, it's not the Mall of America. You spent 3 days walking it.
It is the biggest mall in Alaska, though.
Yes.
A little pride point.
Yeah. There we go. What made you choose that location?
Gosh.
Just
we obviously looked around all over the place, but it was the head of the board at the time that actually reached out to me.
Okay.
A few months before I decided I wanted to expand, he saw me speak at one of the many assembly meetings I attended and spoke at over the last 2 years of his COVID life, and was like, "Hey, we liked your speech. Let me know if you want to expand. We've got some space for you over here."
That's cool.
He dropped off his card, so he put that little. I guess I should give Hugh a little credit.
Yeah, was that Hugh?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've chatted with Hugh a few different times on a few different business ideas over there, and super nice guy.
Yeah, super nice guy.
Always in the Hawaiian shirts.
Yes. So he helped get us in there, made it happen. It's been fun.
That's awesome.
Kind of liven up that hallway for him.
Yeah. Yeah, Rumble, and then of course what's the other? Selfie World in there have really kind of helped liven up the mall a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know if you've walked by there at 9 p.m. They're having a party. Selfie World is the place to be, apparently.
Really?
9 p.m. on a Friday night.
That's awesome. Apparently I need to go by at 9 o'clock.
I guess so.
So how many classes do you guys offer at Rumble?
We have 38 on the schedule a week right now.
Wow.
So we got early morning, 6 a.m.s. We hit that 9:30 a.m. crew. And then we got a couple of noon classes.
Okay.
We just added those for this quarter. And then evenings, 4:15, 5:30, 6:45 p.m.
Awesome.
Of course, weekends. Those are the busiest, Saturdays and Sundays on mornings.
Yeah. I did not attend, but I know the YPG group went on one of the weekends here recently.
We gave them a 1 p.m. Saturday slot, so they could ease into their day a little bit.
Right. Yeah. So I was like, unfortunately I'm busy, but I heard they had an awesome time. Yeah, that was nothing but raving reviews about it.
They were hooting and hollering. It was fun. It was a good class to teach.
Yeah. So of course, everybody, like we talked about this before the episode here, everybody looks or thinks that small businesses or businesses run on just hopes and dreams, and you just kind of fall into this amazingly ran business. However, that's usually not the case. So a little bit of grit and grind and ups and downs. So how has been owning some businesses been for you? Like, what's been some key points that you can
I wish that all the bills could be paid with hopes and dreams all alone.
I know, right?
Not quite.
It's
been, overall a good experience. I would 100% do it again, and I do like this lifestyle. But I'm also a bit of a high stress person.
Right.
Like that's where I operate.
Yeah.
A little bit busier than I should be in general. So I do enjoy it, but it definitely is not all sunshine, roses, butterflies, all the things. It's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of late nights. It's a lot of not going out with your friends, not having time to go do stuff that you want to, because you're, in the end, you're the one that has to perform and show up and do it.
Yeah.
I, even as the owner, don't just do the glorious jobs. I'm in there, vacuuming, scrubbing toilets, and also sometimes getting to sit on a podcast. So, from the low lows and the high highs throughout.
Yeah.
But one of the best advice that I ever got when I started out was the hire slow, fire fast. So for me, the only way that any of this has been successful is because of the team that I've hired on.
Yeah.
The people that have helped build it from the ground up. We started Pure Barre with 6 employees, and we are now up to 22 in total between Pure Barre and Rumble. And each employee has brought their own set of skills and their own set of, their own drive and their own passion into it. And that's really what has people coming back to the business every time. So making sure that you have people on your team that want the same thing.
Yeah, no, I fully agree. That's probably been, and I'm sure every business owner is going to agree, is you try to wear all the hats. Yeah. And then you realize, like, I can't do this with all the hats.
Right. I got a big head, but I can still
So it's challenging.
It is.
To try and like let control go. Mm-hmm. So that's been, one of my biggest challenges is like delegation.
Right. And then also knowing how you delegate, right? Like for me, it's, I'm sometimes a think out loud kind of person. Mm-hmm. But I have a kick-ass manager who's she hears it, she does it person. Right. So like I have to be very mindful of like, okay, if I put this out into the world, like she's going to complete this task, which is amazing, right? Like those are the kind of people.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But I just have to be mindful of like, I am thinking out loud. Disclaimer. Let's talk about this. And then you go and do it after we've decided on a solution.
Yeah. That's actually pretty comical. So,
but it's good. You want to hire somebody who's not just like you. I mean, we're all a little bit similar, but
yeah.
It's actually a funny sidebar. I had our contractor that built out Rumble made a funny, observation while he came and watched my staff interact.
Right.
He's like, you hire a lot of people that are a lot like you. You're all just a little awkward, but funny and nice, and welcoming, but just a little weird. We got our signature mark, I guess.
Right. Well, that's awesome. That's hilarious.
Yeah. That's so funny.
Yeah. It's, I've tried to bring on people you want people that accent you, but also bring a different mindset as well, because obviously many heads are better than just one, 100%. Right? And I want constructive criticism as well, because I'm totally not perfect.
Oh, no.
And so it's nice having that constructive criticism. And then, of course, like people just kind of bounce things off of.
Yep. Yeah. It's been fun having a little bit more of a leadership team and being able to bounce ideas off and trickle it down, and everyone's always got a good little addition to it. Yeah. And I mean, even with us, like, especially in the fitness world, like everybody consumes fitness differently as well. Mm-hmm. So it's nice to have a different personality on the mic, teaching the classes as well.
Yeah.
Some people like the Susie style. Some people like the Andy style,
Right.
Like it's just kind of depends on who you are as a person.
Yeah. How about hiring? Have you had a lot of issues hiring people, kind of like what most business owners have kind of encountered the last year and a half?
Definitely been harder than it used to be. I also think that people's availability has changed a little bit. Mm-hmm. But, we're doing okay. Okay, but always on the hunt for more.
Yeah.
In there, right people, the right schedule. Our job's a little unique. It's, a lot of more part-time hours, a lot of evenings and weekends, which are harder to hire for.
Yeah.
Same as like with the service industry, right?
Right.
But it's been okay.
What are you looking for?
What are we looking for?
Yeah.
We're looking for the next best Rumble trainer and Pure Barre instructor.
Okay.
Try out.
Maybe.
You got the mic voice down. That's part of the thing, the confidence on the mic. The ability to hold a room at attention.
This is not overnight. This is some trial and error.
That is true.
Yeah. Go see my first YouTube videos. I look really awkward. Yeah. So fitness instructors, is that kind of just what you're looking for? Do you need any admin people or?
We're pretty set on admin right now. Our front desk staff, we just did a revamp. We just hired a few more people.
Nice.
The wonderful smiling faces you see when you first walk in are hugely important. But yeah, we're looking for trainers and Pure Barre instructors.
Yeah.
It's a little confusing. We call them, at Pure Barre, we call them instructors, and at Rumble, we call them trainers.
Okay.
I'm not really sure why we came up with that, but it's just how the cards fell.
Whatever, man. As long as it works, right? As long as I get the job done and people come out happy. And yeah. So what's been some of the feedback you guys have, on Rumble? Like I said, I've just seen a ton of just people posting all kinds of stuff. Looks like you guys are pretty successful.
People are loving it. The classes are jam-packed. They're having a good time. We had the founder of Rumble come up in February to teach a class.
Oh, very cool.
Which is fun. So Andy Stern, or he was one of the developers, I guess.
Right.
And he's still the head kind of technique trainer for the Rumble franchise at this point. And he came up and taught a class for us. And he's like, this is the very first class where people yelled back at me in like a positive way. He's like, I like yell out into the world, be like, are you guys ready? And they're like, yeah, we're ready. They're, you know, like everyone's like hooping and hollering, like loving it. And he's like, that's never happened to me.
Like, bring it.
Yeah. And he's like, you know, they know what's coming next. Like, good job. Way to get them hyped up. So like the Anchorage crowd is excited.
Yeah.
They're having fun. They're coming in and, you know, the lights are off, the music's up. It's fun. It's a good party. It's just the right amount of socializing like we were talking about before this.
I have not gone yet. I need to go.
Yes.
Just because it looks awesome. But it almost sounds like a spin class, but in a boxy version.
Exactly. Yep. It's just like that. A little bit more variety throughout.
Right.
Because you get it's 10 rounds total.
Right.
It's the room's dark. You got mirrors, but you got like kind of club lights. Obviously like bumping music. So if you don't like loud noises, it's probably not the place, but we do offer earplugs.
Oh,
so
okay.
But so it's 10 rounds total, 5 on the bag and then 5 on the floor side. So you spend your first 3 rounds on the bag, for example, throwing different combinations. Each round is 3 minutes long, getting your heart rate up, slowing it down a little bit. And then you'll move over to the bench side. And the bench on the floor has weights. And so we're doing like traditional weightlifting, using your body weight, using hand weights, doing some balancing, doing some HIIT work.
Yeah.
And then you go back over to the bags for a couple more rounds and then back over to the benches. So it kind of, as soon as you're like a little over one side, you get switched to the other.
That's cool.
Keeping everything fresh.
Yeah.
And everything's only 3 minutes long. You can do almost everything for that.
Right. No kidding. Sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Anchorage has been ready for something more personalized, more boutique-ish, like you were kind of talks about.
I mean, I think we're a hugely community-driven city in general. Everyone's always trying to connect with other people. And, you know, COVID kind of put a big old break to that for everyone.
Yeah, big time.
And this seems to be, I don't know, like I said, I think it's just the right amount of socializing for most people because you can talk to everyone before class.
Yeah.
But during class, you're kind of in your own space, right? Like you're not having to interact with people while you're working out, but you get to feel that energy. It's like this socialism of energy. Everyone throws it into one big bucket and it gets dished out to everyone. So you can walk into that room feeling down on life, but you're going to walk out a little bit more energized and happier because the person next to you brought it.
Yeah.
You know?
That's awesome.
Multiplied it for you.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, you know, Alaska is just very unique in its culture and just what they want. And we're so typically far behind getting things.
Not this time.
No, first, good job to be the first to open because usually we're like the last, you know, so being number uno, man, awesome work.
So what a claim to fame.
Yeah. That's quite the vision.
Yeah. I mean, I do think Anchorage is like the biggest small town I've ever lived in.
Yes.
I mean, everyone knows everyone.
Yeah.
But
it's often described like that.
On the other hand, it's, you know, what, almost 300,000 people that live here. So.
I know, yeah.
And that doesn't even include the outliers or outlying communities. So,
and what's crazy about that too is obviously the small business community is very tight and just, I mean, it's small, right? But we have such a transient population group between oil and healthcare and military, and it still maintains that really small, big town vibe.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is very transient. I wasn't really ready for that as a business owner.
Right.
But every time somebody leaves, someone new comes in. So it works out. It's a revolving door. But
yeah.
You're right. But I think it's the whole that everyone's a transfer person, right? Everyone's a transplant. So that's why I think it keeps the small circle. Because you're like, oh, well, I now have a new person coming in.
Right.
New person to invite to Christmas dinner.
Yeah. Or Friendsgiving.
Right.
Yeah. So what do you guys, I mean, as far as advertising and stuff like that, I mean, is a lot of what you guys do word of mouth, or do you guys have like just, I mean, obviously being new, just have like this banger marketing plan going right now, or?
Well, our banger marketing plan is mostly Facebook and Instagram.
Right.
That's where the world lives these days. But we also had pretty good success doing some grassroots marketing.
Okay.
That was coupling with other small businesses. So where we would kind of set up shop in their space for a couple hours and people would walk by. Not everyone wants to talk to us while we're there.
Right.
But, you know, they see it, Google us later, check it out.
Yeah.
So it is word of mouth, small small business is small business. I mean, our best one, I think we sold the most memberships at this one was just going to Double Shovel and setting up a table there.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that.
In downtown?
No, we actually went the one on
Arctic there.
Arctic there,
Yeah. Both spots are pretty awesome.
Great. Yeah. No, it was fun.
They have
Sun
great
was shining,
cider.
people wanted to come. Yeah. That's where I got my first little dabble in small business. I was one of their first bartenders.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome.
Back when we didn't know what we were doing yet.
Yeah. I had worked with Carl when they did it, we had Frozen Grove, and Carl did all those epoxy tables in there.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And then all the ones in their downtown location.
Yeah.
So that's just.
Those are beautiful.
Yeah. Great job, Carl.
Good job, Carl. Yeah.
I won't take the credit because he did the work. But that's just Alaska business. It's somehow there's, they say what, three connections away. Alaska's like one, maybe two at the most.
Right. Like I said, 3 different people told me that I needed to hop on this podcast with you.
Awesome. Go everybody who suggested it. Yeah. So, Pure Barre, Rumble, is there anything in the future? I mean,
I think for now we're good. Apparently I do everything in 4-year increments. So check in with me again in 3.
Okay. Let's set the clock.
Yeah.
That's going to be a long scheduled,
2024, something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Because the Rumble was supposed to be opening a little early in 2021, but we made it happen. First of the year, 2022.
Yeah.
First official class.
Worked out. That's awesome. When was your first official class?
It was January 1st.
Like on the wow.
Dot. Yeah, first of the year.
Look at that. Celebrate that new year coming in strong here.
I was impressed. There were a lot of people. It was a sold out first class. I don't even remember. I think it was 2 p.m. on a Saturday. Yeah. After New Year's.
That's impressive.
Right?
And people came in. Fitness goals, New Year's resolution, hitting it on the first. Good job, everybody.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So, man, on the first to open on the 1st of 2022.
That's right.
A lot of firsts there. That was not planned, was it?
It was not planned. No.
That's a wink.
I actually swore that I would not open another business around Christmas time because Pure Barre, we opened on like December 16th of 2017.
Okay.
And I was like, it's just so busy with the holidays. And here I am, January 1st.
Just ready to rip.
But we wanted it. We pushed hard for that opening. My team did amazing. They hustled.
Yeah.
They hustled.
How was finding contractors to do all the work?
Great. I had a repeat architect.
Okay.
So Gordo Thompson was my architect for Pure Barre, and I hired him back on for Rumble. He did amazing. Love working with him. And we had Cadence General doing the contractor work for us.
Okay.
And they did awesome.
Awesome.
They were, quick, clean, beautiful work.
Yeah. Does Rumble pretty much supply all of the other stuff that's like obviously Rumble related?
I would say that in the future, yes. However, being the first franchise, there was a lot of Cadence General and Susie modifications that were made throughout.
Gotcha.
So they were awesome about it, though, with brainstorming on how to come up with good solutions, what we could do better.
Right.
Stopping me when they thought I was maybe being a little too ambitious. Giving me better ideas gently.
Yeah. That's, sometimes that's, the downfall of being like a visionary business owner is you want to do like all the things.
Right.
But like there's time constraints, there's budget constraints, and there's like actual like how practical is this?
Exactly. So it's good to have some solid people in my corner for that.
Right.
Definitely them.
Yeah. I got 2 of my team leads, they're Billy and Tyler are, I'm like here and I'm here and I'm like in the clouds and you're like, okay, Justin, that's great. Cause you're like all over the place. Let's come back to earth. I'm like, but I want to do all of this all at once. Let's have this done tomorrow. Okay, let's create some tasks, yeah. So it's nice to have people in your corner that kind of like,
for sure,
bring it down a little bit. Like, okay, let's set some goals. Let's make this realistic.
Yeah. No, they did good. They even, we came up with a bunch of solutions when we had all those supply chain issues. You know?
Yeah. I'm sure that was probably challenging. Was that part of the delay or? Yeah.
Things that we just really couldn't fix on our own. But I think we got ahead of it a little bit. I think it's only gotten worse from what I hear.
Really?
So from supply chain issues as build-outs are happening across the country. But we had temporary doors for a while. They came up with temporary solutions. I think they saw the little bit of like fire in my eye when I was like, we will open on the 1st. And they're like, yes,
okay. Yes, we will.
I think we might have even had temporary doors still installed. Not sure. I think we were going through what is now a window for first class.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
But you know,
well, hey man,
the people were ready to rumble.
Yeah.
We were ready to go.
Ready to rip.
Yeah.
Awesome. And Pure Barre, same location?
No, we're next to New Sagaya.
Yep.
Still in the same location over there.
Okay.
Yep. It's great there.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great location. You're right in Midtown and
it's the busiest coffee shop in town.
Yeah.
Busiest Kaladi shop in town, I guess I should say.
Yeah.
But we like it there. It's good.
Do you guys get a lot of like business people that come in during like lunchtime hours or,
we used to.
Before and after? Or?
They're starting to pick up again now, but that's been one of the challenges, I would say, the post-pandemic life challenges of figuring out people's schedule. Fun fact, I don't think people like to work out on Thursdays anymore.
Interesting.
Just a day. Our least attended day all around.
Really?
I don't know what it is. Tell me, people. What is it? Thursdays? We don't like them?
Thursday, that's what it is.
Yeah, people are like, I'm just
I was gonna say
it's straight to drinking.
Yeah, I was going to say it was Tuesday because of Taco Tuesday, but then you got Thursday and, you know.
Yeah, but our 6 a.m. classes and our noon classes used to be jam-packed. Like that was the part where I was like, well, we could maybe open another Pure Barre location just to fulfill that need. And now it's slowed down at those time slots.
Interesting.
Because I think a lot more people are working from home.
Yeah.
Right? So they're able to come in maybe during the day, early evenings.
Yeah.
Not needing to use their lunch break for it. But it's starting to pick back up.
Yeah.
People are heading back to the office.
I think this year, especially because now things are like back to normal. I say that with quotations, right? It's going to be a year of learning what everyone's doing, and as businesses kind of like figure out how they're going to be with permanent employees, right? Because everybody had no choice but to work from home initially.
Right. Including us. There was a lot of classes taught in the living room with my now almost 4-year-old running amok.
Yeah. Hey man, as long as he participates,
yep, he did great.
Let's go. And so, I mean, this year I think is going to be interesting. You know, obviously they just undid all the masks for flights yesterday, which is awesome.
Big day.
Yeah. So I think, as things come back to normal, I think there's going to be a lot of like, just service industries that are kind of like relearning what the population's going to be doing now, Now, obviously, that's what you guys are seeing with the classes.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see where we're at in a few months. If post-summer, people are going back to a bit more normal routines. Yeah.
It almost seems like people are more flexible with the work from home stuff now. Like
for most companies, for sure.
Yeah. Like there's not like a definitive, they have like a definitive start and stop times typically, but like their lunch breaks are kind of scattered throughout the day. Like it's not like, okay, 12 o'clock, you're leaving the office and going to lunch and then you, right? It seems to be a lot more like flexible and liquid.
Yeah. Which should give me the confidence to open Rumble in the south side or closer toward, south end of town.
Yeah.
Versus in the midtown business center, because I think people are still coming and going throughout their day. Can drive a little further now.
Yeah. I mean, you do have a massive population group that lives south of Tudor. Yeah. So I think it's like almost 50% of Anchorage lives.
It's just a bit of a sweaty workout to do on your way to work.
Okay.
But people are doing it. Yeah.
You just got to do Rumble and then go down, be a member at the Y, go shower, right? Change. Then you're going to go. Jump in the car, hit Midtown, downtown, wherever you got to go. Look at that. Problem solvers.
Or you got to be that early morning 6 a.m. or, go back home, shower.
See, I need to be better at getting up.
It's a thing I started. I was never a morning person, but
Really?
this is the year.
This is the year? Did you start on January 1st?
I did. Not by choice. But like we were talking earlier, sometimes you just got to do what you got to do.
Right.
It was actually, I think there's so much talk. I've been telling people about this a lot, but there's so much talk always about this like life, work balance and these boundaries that you should set up and everything. Yeah, bad at that. But I finally heard another entrepreneur talk about it. They're like, that's bullshit. Sorry. The first couple of years, you're going to have to burn the candle at both ends. Like, you're just never going to make it otherwise. So,
yeah.
That's kind of where we're at right now.
You got to put the work in. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, because your first few years are very definitive on what the remaining years are going to be, Make it or break it. Yeah. But I mean, obviously, you guys have a fantastic product. Obviously, people are loving the boutique style of fitness. And
I think people are excited to have you. Like, I mean, one of the things we pride ourselves in that we know you as you come in the doors, which, we're still working on that at Rumble. There's just a lot more people and everyone's new. Like we had, before we even opened, we had over 300 members signed up for memberships. So like we met 300 of our new best friends that first couple of days. It's a lot of names to remember. But even now, like, I have my regulars in my classes and that's fun. And we know some of their kids' names, their dogs' names, what they do for work.
Right.
We enjoy that. I enjoy that.
Yeah.
I enjoy it as a consumer and as a, provider of the service here versus at the big box gyms. You're just a number. Right.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah. And like we talked about before, I think people are really, especially after not being social for some amount of time, want more of that, more personalized approach to just business in general.
It's true.
I mean, like we talked about, there's always going to be the Amazon.
Right.
Like I'm guilty.
We're going to get better though.
Yes. I keep telling myself that. And then I'm like, but it's so easy. Just like click and it just ships and you're good.
It's true.
Yeah. But I mean, we try as to find it locally, just, it's a little more challenging. Mm-hmm. So, but, yeah. What else you got?
I have so many things in my brain, so much.
I know it's tough to like pull. It's tough to pull things out.
Yeah.
How about 3 tips for someone looking to start a business? Like, what are some of the things you've learned in the last 5 years?
Oh man, that's a tough one. Well, I gave you my favorite one, the hire slow, fire fast.
Yep.
Because you want good people on your team all the time, and one person can sink that ship.
Yeah.
Faster than you think. I mean, I've made that mistake already in the past where I've kept people on for even just a week too long. I'm like, cool. Wish I would have cut that a little sooner. Even if that means that you're going to just have to work a little harder yourself for a few weeks, it's worth it.
Yeah.
And then invest in the people that you do have. One of the things I'm hugely proud of is we started a 401k program in 2021. We started health insurance benefits for, my employees. So that's taking that money that you're making, investing it back into your business.
That's awesome.
In your people.
Yeah.
Because once again, they're the ones that are making it or breaking it for you. And then not every day is going to be a good day in business, but there's always going to be something good about it, right? I mean, I think everyone, like we talked about earlier, has their hopes and dreams and businesses, start up and then all of a sudden you're rolling in it.
Right.
Cash, right? It's never going to happen.
I wish.
I wish. Yes, the same. But so there's going to be days that you have to do the work that you don't want to do.
Yeah.
But then there's going to be days that you get to have like the best experience from your business.
Right.
I mean, I hate doing payroll, but I love watching people smile after they come out of class. Mm-hmm. There's ups and downs of everything of it. So just making sure you're focusing on the good stuff more than the bad stuff. Yeah. Giving myself that advice just as much every single day.
I know. It's tough to follow sometimes. Sometimes it's just nice to have a reminder though, It's, no, I fully agree. A lot of those were fantastic points.
And then being more transparent with your staff too, just so they know the good stuff and the bad stuff, because they want to celebrate your wins and help you push through the losses as well. So.
Yeah. I found that people, when they typically work for you because they share the same vision that you do. Mm-hmm. And so including them on that vision, it almost seems because they want to see the vision and how it's playing out, right? even though they aren't the business owner, right? So it almost seems like you're like, well, why would I tell them that? Like they don't own the business, right? But at the same time, they really want to know how they're doing and how you're doing as a business because they also want to adjust to help you.
Totally. That was kind of the fun thing about the Rumble experience versus the Pure Barre. I mean, with Pure Barre, I was a one-woman show for the first few months of, getting it up and running and everything. And then I hired my first 6 employees,
right.
A few months before we opened, versus when we got into Rumble, 8 of my Pure Barre employees out of those, 17 I had at that time moved over to Rumble. Now they're dually employed in both locations. And that was fun. Like we built it together.
That's awesome.
It was cool.
I'm sure they're super proud of that too.
They should be.
Yeah. Yeah. And they like you said, they should be because it's cool to see something come to fruition and build it. So
that's why sometimes some of the other, Rumble owners now across the country that are opening call me for some advice. And I was like, I don't know, get yourself a kick-ass team. Good luck.
Right.
Sometimes that's the simple advice I can give. I was like, I don't know if you got to find out the passion, make them be as excited as you are.
Yeah. I tell my agents and other people I know that ask me about business, whatever else. I'm like, you are a product of who you surround yourself with. And, so make sure to put people in your corner that are going to help you celebrate your wins.
100%.
Help push you, right?
For sure. So you're going to surround yourself with more morning people then?
Apparently I need to. I need someone that texts me at like 5:30 in the morning, like, get your butt up, Justin.
Yeah. I'm here.
Yeah. Besides the alarm clock. So at some point you just need to be self-motivated.
Yeah.
I think that's where a lot of entrepreneurs and business owners are. Very self-motivated, very kind of like a type A personality.
Yeah, I have to thank my parents for that, instilling that in us early by, like I said, that ranch life. It's like, hey, it's got to get cut when it's got to get cut.
Yep.
Whether you've got fun 4th of July plans or not, you're doing it right now. So
yeah, kind of that drive, and work ethic is very important, especially when starting a business. So. Well, awesome. I mean, so the future it's
bright.
Very bright. Check in 2024, you said?
Something like that, yeah. Maybe give me an extra check. Let's make it 2026.
Oh, boy. Okay. There we are. I'm going to put it on the calendar.
That's good.
Do you want to give a shout out to anybody or a quick plug?
A quick plug. I mean, come try out Pure Barre. Come try out Rumble. It'll be the workout that you're looking for, but also the community. You'll have lots of smiling faces, interesting people to talk to meet, to engage with throughout your day and weeks and months with us. Yeah.
Where can people find you?
We, Pure Barre is located at 3600 Old Seward Highway. Okay. So we're next to New Sagaya, on 36 and Old Seward there. And then Rumble is in the Diamond Center Mall next to Chili's on the West End there, by the bus station for anyone who actually drives by there. And yeah, come try out a class. First class is on me if you mention this podcast. Awesome. And socials? Pure Barre Anchorage, Rumble Boxing Anchorage. That's it. Sweet. On Facebook, Instagram? Facebook, Instagram. You guys got Twitter? We don't. No Twitter? Not into the tweets? We're not into the tweets. How about TikTok? Are you big on TikTok yet? I hired some younger staff. They're doing some TikToks. Awesome. I'm not really sure we're using it, but we're using the TikToks to go into Instagram. Okay. I think that's how it works. Yeah, the Reels. Yeah. I'm really good at it. So that means you have to have a TikTok. And I'm like, you got TikTok somewhere. You got a TikTok somewhere, yeah. Awesome. Yeah, but shout out to my whole staff. They're kicking butt out there. Well, cool. We really appreciate to have you on talking about Pure Barre and Rumble. And thank you for having me. Yeah, absolutely. Fun. Okay, cool. See you guys.